guys, so this is probably my most requested video. I'm really not even like famous.
I'm gonna be famous.
Manny Santos, my, how you've grown.
It's just like more so when I'm out and about and I have my makeup done, everybody's just like, oh my god, who does your makeup? I do my makeup. So I'm gonna give you a step-by-step on how I do my current tutorial. Just a little bit about me, like in my makeup journey. I'm self-taught. I had a lot of friends who are either drag queens and like, you know, really good like makeup artists. I started working at Ulta back in like 2017, and like I had like no experience. Like I didn't know how to do makeup. Probably the most I would do is just like an eyeliner and mascara, and like I can now do on myself like a great transformation. So I'm gonna give you a step by step on what I normally do. So first things first, we are going to prime the face. Also, keep in mind this is kind of like a mixture of like drugstore and high end. For those who might not have known, my car got stolen last year. And I did my cousin's makeup, and my whole makeup kit that I brought with me along my car got stolen. So it's taken me at least like a whole year to kind of like re-up like my makeup game, because a lot of the products that were stolen from me were some like great expensive, a little bit of drugstore stuff, but most of them was expensive. So I had to re-up, and slowly but surely, some of my products are back. Not all of them that I used to use are back. So we're just doing a mix. I always want to make sure that I recommend the most profitable products that I use regularly, whether it's drugstore or like something high end that we start with. So with that being said, let's get started. So we're going to start priming the face. I'm going to use the Urban Decay All Nighter. I still have not found a primer besides Benefit Matte that has like really like done its job. So I'm just using the spray as a primer. So we'll start there. Also, this is a do as I say, not as I do video, because there's a lot going on here that you probably wouldn't do. I just do because of the convenience of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray a little bit on my hand.
That's what she said.
I said not a lot of people do that. My hands are clean. I just washed them. I'm going to put it all over my face.
What do you mean by that?
All right. So typically this part would be me fixing my eyebrows. I really like thin eyebrows, but I'm not going to cut them on camera because I do not recommend the way I do it, because it's pretty dangerous. But I am going to use the Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil. I typically have thick-ish brows. I don't get them regularly done. Like I said, I cut them myself, and you know, when I cut them, it's really, it's either a really good day or it's a really bad day. But today I'm just gonna fill them in just ever so slightly. I just like to just draw at the front and then like work my way back just lightly. When I used to work at MAC Cosmetics after I left Ulta, a makeup artist taught me a really good trick is just to keep it pretty all the way through.
You're like really pretty. Thank you. So you agree? What? You think you're really pretty?
So just like when you're doing your brows and you're just doing any type of makeup application, just try to do it lightly and not do it so harsh, because it's like, see how like pretty the brow is like right now? I like really didn't draw it in. Like I said, they're not done at all. So I'm just like keeping it pretty all the way through, just going along my so-called art.
I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty.
Because I don't really have a crazy arch to my brows. Like I said, I normally wear my brows very thin, or they're a little lopsided when I cut them. So one of the reasons why I started doing my own makeup was because I had a really good friend who did do my makeup at the time. She went to school for it. And she always used to do my makeup. And then when I moved out of Cleveland for a little bit, I had to figure out who's gonna do my makeup if I can find my brush that I need. And a lot of it's self-taught. Like I said, I do have a lot of inspiration from like Drag Race, RuPaul's Drag Race, if you don't know. I've been watching probably since season 2. I do have a lot of friends who are
Girl, she already done had hers.
drag queens. I have a lot of friends who have always done their makeup, and I didn't do my makeup back then. And so I've always just been inspired just by like, you know, the snatched look, like looking very pretty or wearing like a lot of makeup. And I wear a lot of makeup. So, with that being said, after the eyebrows, and also I had a really bad experience. I'm being messy, but shout out to Bryant because when I was modeling on TV, he did me and my friend's makeup at the time, and he did a really great job on my friend's face, but he did a horrible job on mine.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know if he was just used to doing like lighter skin tone of makeup, but he did a horrible job on my makeup, and I had to be on camera for Channel 3, and the way my makeup looked, it was just awful. It was just awful. Like I said, my friend looked great, but I did not. So that was another reason that kind of like pushed me to like do my own makeup, because I can control what is on my face. And yeah, I don't need that to ever happen again, and I haven't had that experience again. We are going to start with some concealer. We love LA Girl Pro Concealer. I've been using this for years. Makeup artists have used it on me. It obviously looks a little bit worn. I'm sure yours will be brand new. And then I will color correct with this Juvia's Place concealer. Shout out to my manager, Grit. He gave me this. And I use this as a color corrector always, just because it just matches perfectly. So what I do normally is after the brows, I'm just gonna go where there are dark marks around my face and color correct. I don't really have a mustache.
Manage to get that lined up.
Don't you worry about it, bitch. I know somebody like it.
But you know, sometimes I have a little dark lines around my mouth. Don't know why, but it's just there. And so I'm just going to put it around my mouth.
What do you mean by that?
And under my eyes. And then I am going to put a little bit of LA Girl, if it will come out. It's again, do as I say, not as I do. Yours won't look like this. Mine does. And then I also have like this flat brush too. I typically use this to apply my eyebrows, and then I also do this to apply to my little space under my eyes here. So I'm going to use that and put a little of it right there. And I'm just like gently like applying this. Like, even though I poured out a lot of product, you don't want to use a lot of product. And I kind of just like spread it.
You're a little nasty.
Alongside, because I know I'm going to dip back into this when I do something else to my face. And then I'm going to line my eyebrows. I've been doing this method for a very long time. I line it just like from the underneath and just go back in and just like kind of like blend it out. And I just blend it out to the end of the arch. Now add some more product and do the same thing to the other eyebrow. And of course, you'll have clean brushes. When you're a girl on the go like me, I hope that one day I can squeeze in to actually clean my brushes, like all of them correctly. But I have so many brushes for my kit and just my personal use that like it is hard for me to have clean brushes. But your brushes will be clean, so do as I say, not as I do. So we're gonna do it. The brows should be sisters, never twins. And I am a firm believer in that because these brows do not match, but that's okay. I like to think of that as me and that is my sister, or me and my sister. So which one's the better brow? We'll argue about that later. And so we'll do that and we'll spread it out.
Oh, you nasty.
And then I know a lot of people use brushes. I'm still a sponge girly. Like I said, it's gross, but that's okay. And we're just gonna blend out the concealer that we put on here before. We're just gonna blend out as so. Blend for your life. I know a lot of people use brushes, but I feel like a sponge sometimes just hits a little bit better. I don't know. It just works for me. Not everyone is the same, but I feel like when it's wet, it just blends a lot better. And then I'm also just gonna go in with my sponge and also blend my eyebrows because again, I just think it just looks better for me.
2 hours later.
Perfect. I hope I will be done in a timely manner because I am slightly intoxicated, but that's okay. That's okay. I think that's like the vibe. It's like sometimes the vibe when you're getting ready, you just have to just like be a little under something.
Well, I don't think it's funny. Hi.
To just get through it, but that's okay. All right, so now we are gonna go in with this kind of brush. It's like a blender brush. I don't know the exact name for it, but this is just the type of brush that I use. To set the brows, we're gonna go in with a color that's kind of similar to my skin tone, maybe just a little bit lighter. So this is also a very old ass Morphe palette. Very old. I have a lot of like makeup from when I was working at Ulta, and that's probably a sign to probably throw this makeup away. But if it's not broken, I'm gonna use it. So I'm gonna go in with this color. It doesn't have like a name for it, so I'm just gonna go with this color. And then I'm just gonna blend underneath my brow. Just so you kind of like see that there's like a little bit of definition. It helps it look less drawn on. And so you just put that color underneath and you set that brow. And I'm going to commit to doing eyeliner today, and let's hope that it actually works for me. So I'm setting the brows, and then I'm going to use a different brush to put on the hood of my eyes right here. I have a little eyes, not necessarily hooded eyes, but just like sometimes just like you probably won't be able to see all my eyeshadow, which is why I try not to do crazy eyeshadow because sometimes you just can't see it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with just like a random color. I'm trying to think about what kind of like lip I'm gonna wear. I'm pretty much gonna wear a bold lip today, so I probably want to be neutral with the eyes, do nothing crazy, but still, very cute. So I'm probably just gonna take this shade right here. It's almost to the pan, and I'm just gonna put it in the middle of my eye. I also have lash clusters on too, so that also shaves off 15 minutes worth of processing because when you wear lashes, I'm a strip girly. I don't get my eyelashes done very much, but the clusters do work. But sometimes the clusters are just a little bit faster, but I don't want to put on a big lash. And sometimes if I do too much eyeshadow and my lash clusters are on, because they've been on for a week, thank God, it's going to look stupid, at least to me. So I'm just going to keep it neutral. That way I can just put on my eyeliner and it'll be good. And everything else can be extravagant. I do not know if I'm explaining that very well, but you'll get it. Okay. Now I'm just going to go in with a lighter color because I feel like now the eyes look all the same. I'm just going to use a lighter color to set my brows to kind of like put the difference. There we go. I'm going to use that lighter color right here to set the brows. So like the brows look one way and then the eye is darker than the brow. Period. And now we are going to do some eyeliner. I'm gonna do the liquid. I used to be really good at doing eyeliner. I don't know what happened. I got good at my makeup, but started really doing shitty eyeliner. So we're gonna use this LA. I'm pretty sure this is LA Girl liquid eyeliner. Hair stores have the best makeup. Like you get the LA Girl concealer, you get the eyeliner, you get this, like you get jewelry. I love the hair store. Anything you can get from the hair store, I'm probably gonna buy. This one is gonna be a thin tipped eyeliner. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna pay like $2 for it. So that is a steal. We're gonna hope that it works. And I'm gonna do my eyeliner. I know everyone does theirs differently. I just kind of do mine on a prayer. I hope that it works. If I have to go back in and fix it, then I will. But I'm sure you could do a better eyeliner than me. But how I normally do it, the easiest for me is just I take my finger, spread in my eye, and just like go along and just go up. Like I said, it's not always like that. I'm hoping the other eye will match. We're gonna spread. Go along there. And go up. And that's the thing I have to come up. So if you have to go back in, you can. I know some people can clean it up with a brush. But if you're a girl like me who's always on the go, see, we're gonna try and fix this. But if I'm not committed to the fix, I'm just gonna keep it. So, because who has time for that when you gotta go hang out with your best friends? I'm slightly just slightly not committed to doing. Okay, there we go. There we go. It's coming back. It's coming back. Okay, they're not the same, but we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna keep it like that. We're not gonna worry too much about it because that's not the focal point of this. The focal point is just making sure that the eyeliner is at least on there. It's not perfect. And who gonna beat me up about it?
Oh, shit.
Nobody. Exactly. Anyways, now we're on to the fun part, which is the foundation. So, I am a firm believer in the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Clearly, this has been used and also broken. But I'm a firm believer by this foundation because it just has a really pretty finish. It's also like price point like worthy. Like it's only $14. Like I've paid for probably the most expensive foundation I've ever paid for is probably like close to like $35. I'm like, who wants to pay for that when you could just get a great one for $14? Like, come on. And again, do as I say, not as I do. You're not supposed. You shouldn't do it like this. So I'm gonna open this, and like I said, it's so broke that we're gonna put it on the back of our hands, and we're gonna keep that there because it's broken. And I'm not about to buy a new one until this one's out. So we're gonna take our blender, and we're just gonna start applying. And I am a firm believer that every foundation, even if it is like for a nighttime look, it should match your neck. I don't know what y'all been told, but I believe in blending, and I believe that everything should look natural. Besides the lashes, besides the eyebrow, like at least the foundation, like the skin should look like your skin. I hate makeup that doesn't match. I hate foundation that doesn't match the skin tone. That's just me. I know some of y'all probably can't relate, but I'm just telling you, like in pictures and the flashback, like I would rather look like at least my skin looks right versus like a huge line between the face and the neck. And when I do my color matching for foundation, I go based off of the neck. I mean, my neck is pretty much the same as my face. I mean, obviously there's like light parts to it, but yeah, like look at that. It looks like my skin. Like everything should be pretty all the way through. There should be no type of dramatic difference as soon as I like wipe off my makeup. That's just what I believe in. And like I said, some people, they weren't born with the face that God gave me. God gave me a good face where it's like, okay, like I look pretty with makeup and without makeup. I also don't recommend wearing makeup every day. I'm not a girl who wears makeup every day. This routine, me trying to do this every day, I don't have the energy for it. But when I do have the energy for it, best believe I will do it. And then, like I said, I just use a blender because it just looks better. I feel like you can get more in and blended with a blender. And then I am going to fill out the rest of my brows with that brush that I was using earlier and use the rest of what I have here for my eyebrows, because with the eyebrows, what's left over, I'm just going to blend into my forehead. For some reason, I have a very small forehead, and sometimes my forehead looks different than my actual makeup. So I just try to make sure that whatever residue that I had here, I just kind of blend up, because if I don't do anything to my forehead, then it looks weird. But then if I do something to it, it looks okay. So we're just going to line the eyebrows with that residue. Also, I have no idea how to use cream makeup, so that's one thing I kind of want to do this year, is see how I do with cream makeup. I'm also just going to put some in the middle of my brows. It's a very classic 2016 move that the girls used to do. And then we're just going to blend up. I blend up and not down for the brows just because I try to cover my forehead as much as I can. Depending on the hair that I have, either my forehead won't show, or if it's just showing a little bit like this. Depending on how I'm feeling, we'll see how I look at the end of this video, because I might just take this hair off and put a different one on. See? We will see. And then I'm just going to add the rest in places that may need foundation or less. Alright? Now the foundation is done. It's complete. So then now our favorite part is the highlighting. So this one, why I like LA Girl Pro Concealer, like I said, yours won't look like this. This looks like this for me. Because what I do with this is, when I do my snatch look for underneath the eyes and for the chin, since it's already been beat to death in the way that I like to move, it's just an easy applicator that I can just use to put right here and right here. There's a little bit right on my nose, but that's okay because we're going to use it there anyway. And then we're going to put a little bit by the eyeliner right there and right there. I try to use the same amount of product on each side. Some people may say, like, that's too much concealer. There's no clean girl stuff happening here. Clearly, there's no clean girl makeup over here. This is the beat phase.
I'm about to beat this bitch up.
We're doing the beating, and either you're gonna get with it or get lost. Now I'm gonna take this thing. First of all, this is a beauty blender. This is a beauty blender. I don't know what to call it. It's a sponge, but like it kind of is at an angle, and I like using this because I can literally just fold it and just start going. This is also damp too. Just always use damp sponges. Do not go in dry. Do as I say, not as I do. Make sure it's all damp. There's nothing dry over here, okay?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
And then we're just going to move up. And so with that blender, it is going to, I'm like blending. Oh, there's a little spot too. I'm like blending at the side of my nose all the way up, because when I contour, it's gonna make sense by the bit. I am blending up, and I'm gonna do the other side. And like, you know, sometimes this is the therapeutic part for me. Because when you can't control everything else in the world, at least you can control your makeup. So we added some stuff. We added concealer above the upper lip. Then we're also going to do the chin area. I do have a zit. I already know I'm about to regret this later, and I don't have zit patches. Don't judge me. Always have clean skin before you do it. I'm not a skincare girly. I'm all over the place with that. So luckily, thank God, I'm just blessed with decent skin where I don't have to do too much to it. But I do have a zit, so she's a little hormonal today. I am blending out that concealer. I put a lot on my upper lip just because I hate like during the night where it's like I'm having a good time, the drinks are flowing, and then all of a sudden I have a crease. Hate that. Hate that. So I am making sure that on the upper lip it is highlighted, because that's when I will go in the powder once I set this and set my upper lip so it can be pretty when we do the application for the lip liner. I don't highlight my nose very much anymore. And I don't highlight my forehead anymore because I don't know. I just stopped doing it because it was just too much. I already do too much here, and I just don't think that it's necessary for me personally. But if you feel the need to highlight your nose and highlight your forehead, you're more than welcome to. I just don't do that anymore. So that's just me. So now that we have our concealer all blended in.
Perfect.
Now it's time to do powder. So we have a few different powders. The powder that I used to use, again, was stolen in my car. I used to use Dermablend translucent powder, but like I said, that is like $45 per like little ramekin. It used to be bigger than that.
That's what she said.
But I don't know any people who work at Ulta anymore, and the person I do know at Ulta, I fucking hate that bitch.
Yep. Got it.
I was about to ask her for a discount. So I was fortunate enough to find a knockoff from Ruby Kisses, 40% off here at the hair store. So I'm just gonna start using that. I also have the, what's it called? The Maybelline Fit Me powder. I have one that's where all the colors are mixed in together. Yeah, I want it to look nice and look blended. Still give me the highlight effect, but like nothing that looks too ashy.
And finally, from these very projects, local legend Ashy Larry.
Because it's already the winter time. I don't want to look more ashy than I already do. So we're going to blend all the colors together. I have a darker color. I have a medium dark color. And then I have this. And so I just kind of like add it all together because you just have to do what you have to do. Ooh, that's a little bit too much. It's also a little bit too much. So I'm just going to take one of these brushes here. I'm also going to add a little bit more translucent powder. So this is just like a little concoction. Like I said, you guys will have better powders than me. Definitely get something that is maybe a shade too lighter than what you typically use. I think I put a little bit too much of light powder in here. And I don't want to put too much of a darker powder because we're supposed to highlight. It's not going to make no sense. Ah! Oh my God! This is too much. This probably makes no sense right now, but it will. It will. She's a dope girl. We cooking all the powders. We have it all set. I just want a really just nice finish, you know? Okay. So I just took a brush and kind of like blended all those powders together. Let's pray that it actually looks okay when I do put it on. Just going to dab that a little bit. You see that right here?
Look at my dab, bitch, dab. Look at my dab, bitch, dab. Look at my dab.
I also seen this trick on TikTok where some influencers are putting it on their hand first and then apply. So that in this case, it probably is good to do that because I have no idea how it's gonna look because I poured too much of the dark powder on here, but we're gonna see. I'm pouring a little bit on there, and it's pretty. It doesn't look cakey. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the cake look. I'm just gonna go in since I know it looks okay. Oh, yep. It's still gonna highlight. It actually looks really good like this because once it's done, it's just gonna. I just know it's gonna melt. When I put the powder on there, I like to set it on the side of my nose and then work up. Like I said, you don't have to do this. You could do the other step that I showed you like this. But like I said, when I'm committed to makeup, I'm committed all the way through. So we're going to do that on each side. We're going to make sure that nose is... I know a lot of people, like, a lot of black women, like, there's always, like, a lot of discourse about, like, you should not contour your nose and blah, blah, blah. I don't have a huge nose. And I also think, like, whatever you feel comfortable in doing, like, you should do that. But this is my video. So I'm going to contour my nose. Not because I want it to look smaller. It's because that's just the look. Nobody wants to look Eurocentric here. We're just doing what God has intended us to do, which is to use makeup for the greater good. That's all I have to say on that. I'm going to put some powder right here. And if you don't want to contour your nose because you like your nose a lot, then you should do that. I don't dislike my nose. I think I have a cute butt nose. But, like, I feel like if everywhere else is contoured, why would we just leave the nose hanging, you know? This is just me. We listen and we don't judge on this channel because there's a lot going on in my life. And then we're going to put the powder underneath on the chin. Boom. All right. So we are good here. We're going to let that bake.
Let it cook.
We're going to let that bake. And then now, here comes the fun part, which is contouring. So you can contour a couple ways. I used to have a contouring palette. It was really, really, really good. And one of my drag queen friends gave it to me. I cannot remember the brand, but I don't have that brand anymore. And I have to work with the best of what I got. I use eyeshadow, or we have the LA Color Here palette that's also been beat to death. You see how much I used it. So I used just a little bit of both just to like see what works for me. I haven't found a contour palette that I've been like dying to use yet because I just think eyeshadow just works better. So if you choose a darker color out one of your eyeshadows, that works best. That's not like a purple, but like more so just like flesh colored. So I am going to use, I used to also have a cute little contouring brush, also stolen too. But I'm going to use this fluffy brush here. You can also get these brushes on Amazon. You know, I only have one good MAC pencil that I use for my brows. Other than that, like most of these are just brushes I bought off Amazon. So we're going to go in with the cheeks with the contour palette. Because once, it might look chalky now. Trust the process. Trust the process. So I kind of go in with the fluffy brush like in a circular motion to start with the back of the cheek because I need to see how well it's going to turn out, because sometimes I'll use the wrong color and it might look like shit, and it's already in the middle of my face and I don't want that, so I just start from the back. And then if it's a good color where it's like, okay, I feel confident that this is a great color, I'm just going to bring it down and go back up. And then, of course, everybody has to do the snatched face. I'm going to do that face every time. And start from the cheeks. And I'm also going to do the side of my face too. Excuse my dried up hair glue. But I'm going to start with the back of the cheeks and then work our way up and then eventually go down. That's what he said. I'm just going to go like here. So right now it's creating the shadow effect that we want. Gonna get that double chin down there, around there. This is totally optional, but I just feel like I just always have to do it. I always do just like down here. I don't know why. I've just always done it. And I'm just gonna continue to do it. So I kind of just like dabble the contour just like in between the concealer that we put, in between that big ass pimple you see. And then so now I'm kind of a catfish when it comes to the lips, because there was also a guy who probably has a horrible marriage now, but he told me a long time ago that my lips weren't big, that they were bigger on Instagram. I didn't like know what to say. So I'm just going to keep drawing them on anyway. I take a smaller, fluffier brush and I just go around the lip area. It creates the illusion that, like, you know, I got lip injections. I think it looks natural, you know? I feel like anytime you get, like, plastic surgery or anything or makeup, like, you gotta start off natural. And then if you want to, like, go, like, full blow up, make it a gradual thing. Just don't start off the gate just looking crazy. That's just me. Because I do plan on having plastic surgery one day. Take a little bit of the contour powder, and then I am going to put it on the side. And so basically with the contour powder, I'm like knocking the excess powder off that's right here and like moving it up to my brow to give it that effect that, like, oh my god, she's so snatched. And it's less powder for me to take off. And we're gonna do the same thing to the same side. Perfect. And then so now everything looks a lot better. Still look ashy, but this is okay because that's all gonna change as soon as I dust this off. I know everyone uses like a big fluffy brush. Again, these are just Amazon brushes, so we gotta make do with what we got. The fluffy brush I did have, again, was in my car. So we are going to wipe that off. I kind of like grab it and then wipe it off. Wipe off the excess powder. Boom. We're good. And yes, I look ashy, but that's okay.
Local legend Ashy Larry.
Because then we're going to add something that like melts all this together, which is our all-nighter setting spray, Urban Decay. If you know, you know. I know there are way better setting sprays that have came out in recent years that I haven't caught up to, but like, again, I'm still operating in my brain that like, oh, like this is good, this is good. And it was just this is just like one of the old setting sprays that have always been good to me, that lasts a long time, and that's going to keep me locked in. So we're going to use that and we're going to spray. By Revlon, that is so fire, that it's specifically for just like video content making. It's only $16. And some drugstores have it, but not all of them. You should check that out. face was thirsty. My face was thirsty. And then as soon as we have that locked in, we're just gonna go with our beauty blender just to like blend it all together. And you see, like with my face, it's not like a dramatic difference. It was ashy, but now it looks moisturized. But it still looks like my face. And then there's like a little crack right here that we're gonna fix in a second. But that's okay.
$1 billion.
But everything is snatched the way I want it to. So now we are going to go in with a blush. Everybody is into blushes. So am I. So we're going to figure out which one that we want to use today. Juvia's Place, they have the best blushes. They have the best liquid blushes. Like, I mean, come on. They're made for black people. They're made for black women. Made by a black woman. Like, what else am I supposed to not have? So I am going to use pink because I am a pink girl. Team Glinda. I know that's a problematic take, but that's okay. Because no one mourns the wicked over here. Good news. We are adding that blush. And a lot of people go crazy with the blush. Like right here, right there. I have a very small face, so I just try to put as much on the apple of my cheek as I can. Oh my god, look at that pigment. That is crazy. Then I do the other side with the same amount, apparently. And I'm just going to put it on there and put it right here. I feel like my forehead is a little small for blush. Maybe you could just put a little bit on there. And then obviously we're not going to leave the house like this because this is not blended at all. So we're going to use a brush like this or something that's like a little stiff like this. And then we're just going to blend it up. So then it's just, it looks a lot more blended. It doesn't look clownish unless that's the look y'all going for. Unless the clown look is what y'all going for, do your big one. The clown look is not what I'm going for today, but I am going to blend it up so we could just kind of like go like here. You know? You don't know, but it's okay. We're almost done here. Big Mama is tired. So now, we're good with the blush. We are going to grab a makeup wipe. And now, we are going to wipe off the concealer that is on my lips. Because we're going to apply... We are going to apply our lip liner. But actually, before we do that, I need to fix this crack that's on my face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a powder that is for my skin tone, but it's more so just like a, kind of like a, what's called, Balance and Brighten foundation. It's not like an actual foundation, but it just kind of like sets it. I'm going to use this. This is also discontinued. Laura Geller, you need to come back out with this because, girl, I have not gotten rid of this since I got it. And it's great for setting makeup, especially if it's already done. This is just good for, again, this little crack right here. You don't need to put on a whole new foundation, or you don't need to put as much loose powder as we just did. We just need something that just hits a target area. To get one of these little hard brushes again, and then if you see the little crack that we have right here, we're just going to fill that in. Because one thing that makes me nervous about like adding liquid to my face after I already set it is like, oh my god, if I add this liquid, if I add this concealer, it's gonna stain and it's gonna fuck the whole face.
Stop. What do you mean by that?
I'm like, I don't have time for that. We don't have time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So this is like a good thing to use just to set the face. And then also this is evening out like the blush we just put on too. We still got that color, but you know, it's less ashy. Okay. So now it is onto our lips. Like I said, I promised that we were going to do a bold lip today, which we are. So we are going to grab... There are some things that you can cheap out on. I cheap out on a lot of stuff. But one thing I feel like I'm starting to become elitist on is the lip liners. Granted, you do find some really cute lip liners. This is a cute lip liner from the hair store. This is like literally only $1 and it comes with a sharpener. Love that. But then you have MAC. Yeah, MAC. Shout out to MAC. MAC is always going to be the big one. They always have great lip liners and they last a long time. I plan on drinking with my friends later, so you need something to stay on all night, especially if you're doing shots. But we're gonna use Night Moth. This is a great shade. It's a vampy shade. It's dark outside. You're feeling a little dark inside. It's a great way to bring that out and top it off with a lighter color, which the color is this Snob from MAC 2. Any pink lipstick also would look good with like a dark colored, like purpley lip liner. So I'm pretty sure you can find something that's similar to this, but like Night Moth is Night Moth from MAC. Like, just saying. If you know, you know. So then we're gonna line the lips. I'm supposed to put powder on first and then line them. There was an influencer who said it's supposed to make your lips last longer. So we'll try to see if that method works.
What?
Beforehand. I feel like that's too much of an extra step, but we're gonna do it anyway. We'll put that translucent powder on, and we're gonna put it on our lips. I feel like this is about to dry my lips so bad, but we'll see. Oh my god, it's like I ate cocaine.
I'm gonna tell you something about me, Joe Rogan, that you might not know. I smoke rock.
So we're gonna wipe it off, I guess. And then we're gonna draw our lips on. I think that's the way they said it. It depends on like how overlined you want your lips to look. Mine don't always look the most natural, but like if I'm already wearing fake lashes and fake hair, I mean, how natural do I really want to be? That's just me. Also, this is not a dig for people to come at Black women for having fake things, because every girl wears fake stuff, and I'm really just tired of us always having to be the fucking brunt of the joke or always saying that we just always wear fake stuff and blah, blah, blah. I hate that propaganda. That needs to be dead in 2026. Every girl wears wigs, weaves, extensions, makeup, lash extensions, lash clusters, lashes, you name it. You name it! All the girls have it, and I'm tired of that propaganda. Like, we'll really fight. Anyways, that was a little spiel. And also, I hate the pick me girls like, I don't wear makeup. I don't need to wear makeup. Most of the time the girls who say they don't need to wear makeup probably should. That's all. And oh my god, let's gonna rub it in. It's so purple. We're gonna rub it in. And then we're gonna reapply again because I'm a psycho. Because once it's already in, you gotta reapply again. Because I'm not gonna lie, I need to reapply as much as I can because I don't always take my lip liner with me because I lose everything. And like if I am having a good time and I am lit, like I'm gonna lose something, and the last thing I want to leave or lose is this expensive. It's not super. It's expensive. This $25 lip liner. You got me fucked up. No, it's staying here, so I have to make sure that it stays on my lips so I don't have to reapply. So pretty. Look at that. There's like a little piece. Okay, so the lips are now set. So now it's time for us to go in with our Snob lipstick. This is the matte lipstick. Clearly always been used. I should probably wipe that off. I don't know how to, but it's okay. It's my lips. And then I'm just going to put it on. Put it there. Put it on. Ooh. That's so cute. Ooh, yes. Lord Jesus. That's pretty. I wasn't actually expecting it to be pretty. So we got that done. So now we just have to do 2 more things, and then this will be the look for the night. Maybe we're gonna see about the hair. Okay. We used a liquid eyeliner earlier. We're gonna keep that out. But now we're gonna use a LA Color. What's it called? It's like a stick liner. So we're gonna do our under eyes. In with this Essence Lash Princess mascara to do our lower lashes. I really probably should have did this step earlier when we started the eyes, but that's okay because instead of us touching our face and messing up our God-given talent that God has gave us, we're gonna take a blender. And it's slightly damp, so I kind of want to use one that I haven't used. So I'll use this. I'll use this little sponge here. This is just really just for me to just pull down on my eye and go around. Be safe with these, because Lord knows there has been many times where a steady hand has not helped me very much. Because I was rushing. So just take your time when doing your waterline. And yes, be gentle. Okay, I wasn't a little bit gentle, so now I have to go back in. Okay, we're just gonna keep it all the way through because I feel like if I manipulate it too much, I might poke my eye or I might mess with the look, and literally no one has time for that. And we're gonna do it on the same eye. I kind of have the emo eye going around here, which I'm kind of not mad at, because like if you're an emo kid, if you grew up an emo kid like me, a little eyeliner never hurt nobody. If anything, I could add more. So we're gonna keep that, and then we are going to take this mascara, and then we're gonna grab this little mirror that we have here, just enough so I can see my waterline and my little lashes. And then I'm gonna use it this way. This is vertical. Yeah, vertical. So it's easier to do vertical to hit the lower lashes than horizontal, because if I do horizontal, I might like spread the eyeliner, and no one wants to do that. So we're just gonna do vertical. Vertical. Shout out to Karina. She's funny for that. If you know, you know. Okay. So we did that, and then we're gonna do the other side. All right. And then last but certainly not least, I don't know if you guys peeped, but I do have a beauty mark. It's not protruding, but it is on my face. So I do like to fill it in. You can't really see it because it's covered with everything. But I just like to go in with the liquid eyeliner. Since it's a fine tip, it's probably going to be cute. And I put it right where it should be. Boom. Yeah, some of y'all aren't born beautiful like me. JK, you guys are all beautiful. But, you know, sometimes a beauty mark just means that God just loves you just a little bit more. Even though he gives his strongest soldiers like me the most stuff to deal with, but at least he gave me a beauty mark. Trying to do just... Okay, we're going to keep it there because if we do too much, it's going to mess up the look. Actually, maybe I want to make it just a little bit darker. Okay. See, God does not like ugly. Period. Okay, so I'm going to fix myself up. We're going to do some small alterations, but this is the complete makeup look. This is my makeup routine most of the time as of this year and last year. My makeup routine hasn't always been like that, but it's always just about trial and error. And like I said, I like to look still pretty, but also still natural. I think we might have accomplished that. We're going to just put another layer of setting spray on, just because why not? We want extra protection here. Ooh, that's the good stuff. Okay. And then always remember, after you're done with your makeup, wash your hands with dish soap. Dish soap, dish soap, dish soap. Because I don't put makeup on my neck, and I hate makeup on my clothes. And I don't want makeup on my clothes. So just always wash your hands. The vibe is vibing.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.